This one's a bit funny. I'm actually going to jump in the middle of this run. So I was trying this run because I was pretty sure it wasn't going to work. I thought I'd kill myself too fast. I wasn't sure if I'd need to tone down or tone up exactly how much I had. Whether or not I would simply just have enough damage to kill everything or not. But it's actually been going really interestingly. So I did the first fight, and then I managed to buy a level 1 Infernorb. That was really nice. Because as you can see from my deck here, I have 4 Infernorbs in it. I replaced my starting deck with Infernorbs. And we've got here his backpack, so it's basically an Infernorb run. Now the problem with Infernorb is it deals 2 self damage every time you fire it. Now I've set myself a rule, I'm trying to shoot Infernorb for every single shot that I can. So first fight I burnt a lot of health, but then I got lucky, this was a heal 15 HP and just move along, that was nice. Then I got this fight which I ended with just under 25 gold, so I couldn't do an upgrade. And then I got a question mark which was an anvil, and now I've got a bomb baton, which is like, these options are really good. I'm really impressed with these options. Maybe the Infernal build will actually work. Because I recently got a good karma, which was recommending an Infernal build, and it sounded pretty funny because Infernal naturally does come with a pretty rough downside. Of course, losing 2 health every time you shoot it, which unfortunately that stacks up. That's why it's a pretty rough downside. But it is also light. It's much like the Rubble in that sense, as well as it one-taps bombs, both of which are very good attributes to have, which is why, of course, it has the downside. Well, actually, it's probably more of a flavor reason why it has the downside, right? Rather than a balance reason, because I don't think Inferno is particularly broken, especially when directly compared to, for example, Rubble. So what I was expecting is for this run I would need to do a lot more healing than normal. Not getting a third bomb is actually really unfortunate just because the bat spawn gets prevented then. Yeah, actually pretty unfortunate. But yeah, I was expecting to have to do a lot more heals that I would prefer not to do. I haven't had to do them just yet, not to say that I won't have to do them though. But definitely got a build and every single shot you're one-shotting an enemy is definitely pretty nice. But if you're one-shotting an enemy and losing health in the process, and constantly losing health in the process, then that is definitely less advantageous for you. Which is what I'm expecting to see here. Apple a day, that is just a premium, honestly. For this run, really happy to see that. Okay, Infernorb, I do want the crit. We've got Hero's Backpack. That's called Hero's Backpack. I'm going to keep calling it Adventurer's Backpack. So close. Double damage, it really is. Bit of a shame. We've got Hero's Backpack, so just seeing the crit is just so beneficial. So beneficial. It also means that I'm actually not just screwing myself over a lot by Infernorb's ability to hit a lot of bombs. Because it can hit a lot of bombs. Definitely one thing it can do. It's very good at doing that. Still, one of the really nice things about this elite is, as always, you just get a good chunk of gold from it. Very generous in terms of gold. And then you can also get the Rainbow Slam on it, which is also amazing. Oh, starting passive, I wanted to pick Ive Turtle. I believe I had one other good option. The wand, Unicorn Horn. That was definitely a very nice option too, but I definitely just wanted Ive Turtle. Okay, well. So apparently I was correct. Obviously Powder Collector is actually really good for this run. Definitely really good for the Inferno. Marks is always a good bit of fun, as always. Dungeon Die is Dungeon Die, and there's a Popping Gun. So Popping Gun should be able to pretty much negate the damage that the Inferno would be dealing. Which means that we are just sitting in a very good spot. See, this is what I was wondering, because the second we find one source of healing, we're just going to be in a very, very healthy spot. Because it's pretty easy to negate the damage from the Infernobs through that. But if we don't find a source of healing and we're losing health in fights, because I think it would be pretty natural to expect that we're losing health in fights still, after all, I don't really have good AoE capabilities with my Infernorbs. It's just single target damage. That being said, we are still losing a decent chunk of HP. It's not as much healing as I was expecting. Oh no, I lost my train of thought. Crits also refresh the board is just really good for me. It's really, really good. I can actually remove the refresh from the board now, which is really nice because there are a lot of boss relics that definitely appreciate you removing the refresh from the board. That was a pretty decent shot 1. A bit of damage, you might say. Shot 2, I do not hit the refresh or the crit. Oh god. I really would love to get a crit sometime soon. They are burning health. Close. You know what, that is simply enough damage though where I just don't need the crit anymore. Awesome. Very nice additional. Wow, hold on. Oh my. All four of these relics are actually pretty solid here. One of them is way less solid than the rest. That is, of course, Parallel Boomyverse. I did not take the Battle Collector, so it's just way less solid. Intentional Oboe is super cool, and I think it's the one that has the most direct synergy with Infernorb. That doesn't mean it's the best here, though. Slimy South Infernorb is actually really. Primarily Frost. Well, it is probably the best here. I think that it's also just because I think I'm safe enough as it is. It is also the furthest away from being like an Infernorb passive. I feel like if you're doing an Infernorb run and you're choosing a passive based off of that, I feel like it's intentional over here. With Slimy Salve actually being a close second. Because creating durable pegs is actually really nice for the Infernorb. I'm hoping that I get Prime Slime instead, because that is also a great way to do so. Alright, let's just one-shot the tree trunk, please, and thank you. Now let's get a bomb on my second shot, awesome. One-shot him the other way. Thank you very much. Alright, and then I will set myself up for popping that vine, I suppose. I need that vine gone after all. Alright, we should just be able to get decent damage with every single shot we shoot. Unfortunately... Wow. It just weaved right through the middle of those vines. I'm shocked with that. I really was not expecting that. I was going to say, unfortunately, the Infernorb shot is going to bounce right back onto the vines and get caught. It bounced right back onto the vines and did not get caught. It did the opposite of getting caught. Very impressive. We do waste all of our damage there, which honestly I don't hate. I get to shoot some more shots, including on one of them, which is unfortunately terrible, but nothing I can do about that. I have not been to a store this run after all. I chose not to go to a store because, like, look at the map. As I mentioned last video, especially if you're playing Peglin Intuition, just forcing chests over stores is really good, and I got an instant Infernorb, which I wanted to spend 25 gold on. Alright, we're back. There is a minion. Great stuff. Love having to deal with a minion constantly. Damn. And then I don't get to shoot a real shot. Actually, good. Good for me. We do have Oboe, which does mean that getting caught is significantly less just really bad than it normally is. Actually, I'll just go for this. 125 damage on a crit is pretty easy after all. Alright, there are a lot of passives which are good here. Quite a few. Interesting. I think Gifts that Keep Giving is just insane for Infernorb. Consuming Chalice, as I mentioned, any one of the passives that removed a refresh would be pretty decent for us. Go for Gold is ridiculous as well. Endless Devour. I've been very lucky this run, very lucky indeed. I really didn't think I would actually get a win on my first run because I thought that I would lose too much health, but I have managed to find one source of healing and an excellent source of damage mitigation. Okay, so I don't think it's Consuming Chalice, just because the others have far more upside. And I really don't need the extra damage as well, do I? This probably just go for gold, isn't it? Just the Keep Giving is... Endless Devouring is also so good. Here's the dream, right? Imagine I take Endless Devouring, and for my second boss passive, I've got Wonder Scott Wrath and Cactus. Both of them are... Well, one of them is mostly just fun. It's also very dangerous. But I kind of want to reintroduce that danger back to the run, you know? Yeah, actually, thinking on it more, I think I've made up my mind, haven't I? Infernorb just deals so much damage that this should just be double damage. We shouldn't really have to care about the downgrading basically at all. And I like the sound of that, but also there were a lot of good passes there. Pretty much any of them would have been good choices. I popped shields in one hit actually, maybe that is something I could try and aim for a bit more. Unfortunately sometimes, you know, you just can't aim for shields anyway. Especially since the only shield that's on the map is... It literally exists purely as a shield. But I really want extra crits on the board. Also, I'm very much losing health. Area 2 is just as Area 2 is Area 2 is. Best way to say that statement. Like, you know, I'm all the way down to 66 health. But I immediately regen thanks to Pop and Combo. Hoping that is pretty good. So in case it's not obvious, this is a custom orb run, so I do not intend to add any orb that is not extra Infernorbs to my deck. The Infernorbs, though, are very good news, because it's +2/+4 every Infernorb, and that's a pretty big deal. Do I get anything remaining the refresh? No. Okay, good. Might as well save it then. That's a fair bit of damage. I have a crit on the second shot. I just want even more damage. That's the only reason. Pretty good reason though. You know, I have even more damage on the third shot. Thank you. I appreciate it. After all, doing 1,000 damage there, not too hard. I almost picked up the rubble because I'm just like, ah yes, I'm playing with a extremely bouncy orb effectively. Bouncy in a different sense. Cool, I do not have super boots, and I do kind of... I don't know, it's kind of fun, sure. Let's just, I have intentional elbow, so I take so much less damage from the flipping the chip specifically. That is an unfortunate misnavigation. What can you do? It ties the blind shrewd scales. One of them is useless, unfortunately. I do not plan on reloading, and even if I do reload, +2 scaling is not all that much. Technically +4, but again, I just don't really care. Shoot towards the right, away from the 0.5, and towards the crit. Missing out on the store is unfortunate, but honestly it's fine, because if we look later in the map, I can just go to this store instead, because this is pretty equivalent. Alright, Dewport grants me the extra crits that I was looking for. Extra bombs on the board is very good for granting momentum to the Infernorb, keeping it on the board longer, which is very good. Short stack is not comparable to the other two, but it might be decent. Effective reactance is also a passive that exists. Yeah, Dewpot is pretty cool. Generating 1 extra crit every single turn may not sound that valuable, but I think it's valuable enough to take there, even over Alchemist Cookbook. Maybe I shouldn't be so blasé about my health. I do kind of want the extra gold though. It's so nice having Anvil. Like, yeah, obviously, you know, it is an Anvil, I am losing a lot of health to it, but I think it's still just neat. Boom. Oh, there's a plant. What the hell are you doing here? No, 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 no. I'm afraid I need you to depart immediately. If you would be so kind. Actually, really annoying. Alright, well, I'm sure that I'll hit a bomb this time. Awesome, I got my bomb. Very much. Alright, now let's do this. I do have enough bombs to not... Yeah. More painful than I would like, but my healing is good. This is more like what I imagined the run to be. I'm actually kind of happy that it's going this... I wouldn't say poorly, but it's definitely a lot closer, isn't it? I'm actually going to let him hit me here. Oh, he doesn't get the hit off. Awesome. Just because, as I said, I'm not allowing myself to shoot orbs when I have the ability not to. That aren't Infernorb, of course. Infernorb is the exception. Well, Infernorb is the rule. Not the biggest fan of this, but I can one-tap shields, which is pretty cool. I like that part. Not that it's all that helpful, because a lot of the time you're just having the shield of an enemy that does not matter. I definitely just want to hit my bombs sometime soon though, it shouldn't be too hard. I guess one of the nice things about Infernorb compared to Rubble is it one-taps shields, so you don't get caught on shields, but not really an issue that the Rubble has, to be honest. It feels more like I'm just inventing that issue from nowhere and saying, ah yes, congratulations Infernorb, you can do this one thing. Just one bomb will do, thank you very much. Otherwise we're just losing a lot of health this fight, and not ideal. I must admit, the Super Boots has been a tad more damaging than I would have hoped. I may need to press the heal button here, but healing is for cowards, so I'm not going to heal now, I might heal later though. When my cowardice has grown. But for now, I feel perfectly fine. You know, 36 health with an intentional elbow actually is a pretty big deal. Surely that'll be enough. We'll take a refreshing punch there. It should be pretty neat. I'm gonna heal. I'm a coward. I'm absolutely a coward. No, no, no. I'm not just gonna take this fight, lose 20 odd health or whatever it is I'm losing, and be fine with that. I'm not fine with this. No, no, no. Yeah, this is a very, very painful fight. Very, very painful indeed. We are not going to take this sitting down. I'm going to hit that bomb and then it's going to be solved. Actually, I'll hit the refresh. Stuff. Yeah, there's just so many meat shields in this fight that it does not look friendly, does it? Damn it, I was so close. Would have been such a cool shot, it really would have, but it was definitely a very risky shot too. One that I may be paying the price for. Damn, I missed the shot again, but at least I got the one bomb. I need to stop that. That heal was not enough, awesome. As I said, this fight's gonna steal like 20 health from me. I was spot on. Absolutely spot on, pretty much. Infernorb, nice. I felt like losing more health, so I'm so happy that that Infernorb showed up to help me out there. I actually wouldn't hate a, what's the event called? Crystal Ultra event. Nice work there. A Crystal Ultra event here, I would not hate it. I'm still pretty scared. Oh my god. It's just like, oh, you're pretty scared, are you? Here you go. Here you go. And we're gonna land in that fire, aren't we? No? Okay, nice. Awesome, keep going with those bombs, please. Awesome. I guess, this, you know what, maybe this isn't all bad. I do need one more bomb pretty desperately, though. Please. No! Oh no, that's a huge deal. God. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Perfectly fine to accept this perfection. Of the many things that are happening in this fight, this perfection is not bad at all when you consider the... Oh, that got the kill, awesome. When you consider all of the stuff that I have to deal with. Especially since intentional Robo basically negates Spinfection. Yeah, so... just in case... I didn't actually state it, did I? But I've stated it more than a few times before. There are some very, very hard fights in Area 2. There are some very good fights with stealing a lot of health from you. That is the number 1 on the list. They've nerfed it twice, I believe. It's still number 1. Especially when you're getting extra enemies in it. It's just very rough. I'm just dead, aren't I? Like... From the restrictions on my run, I am forced to pick up this Infernorb. Which is fine. You know, I'm fine with that. I got Tactical Treat, actually. You know what, like, this actually it really is not all that bad. Theirs as well is decent, and then I really do not need to pick up anything else. As it turns out, I should have been a coward. I should have healed earlier. I did take the opportunities to heal later, but I got probably the 2 hardest Area 2 fights. I missed the crit. That is devastating news. I guess the 2 times damage multiplier is still pretty good. I have the Ties that Blind Sand Arrows, hold on. Actually really good for later areas. I was going to say, as long as we hit that shot, please do not hit the 0.5. Awesome. Okay, yeah, good. We do just have a lot of damage. I'm just worried because usually this fight drags on a bit, but I did forget that we kind of have pretty good damage. Our damage is actually decent. As it turns out, then damage is what you want. Ooh, okay, I was perhaps a bit more terrified for that fight than I should have been. I am a coward though. Like, I am just going to take that outgrade. I wish I could have had that earlier. Wow. Okay. So let's just go through these options. The Refresh Potion is actually very solid. As I said, we are happy to remove the Refresh from the board. We get so many extra procs off of Defresh Potion. Defresh Potion plus Infernorb is just pretty good. I'll be happy if I took Defresh Potion here. Seal Conviction? Absolutely not. We're trying to do a 1-orb run. This just doesn't work here. It's just not what we're looking for because we already have such high damage off of the Hero's Backpack. Heavy Hand? Dense Infernorb is significantly less interesting, so I think I'm not that interested in it. Glorious Suffering? It's actually, honestly, not that bad here. Taking the -8 is a pretty big blow, but it means our pigs don't downgrade, they instead upgrade. Albeit not enough to matter, but it means they're not downgrading, which is potentially cool. And there's passive here. It's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad passive. Yeah. Wow, I really did think I was going to lose. I thought I was going to lose to this infection boss. They're hard. I now have a Lucius later. So maybe, just maybe, I'm just slightly less worried about this run now. Ever so slightly. Because, like, to be clear, a big part of the reason why it's just so ridiculous. Like, sure, it's Leaf plus Refreshing Punch. It's as ridiculous as it can get. But just in case it wasn't ridiculous enough, we're also duping them every turn. You know, we also had that. That being said, this does mean that we're mass downgrading the board a lot. Which is actually a pretty big deal. But, you know, our damage is still... yeah. Yeah. That's what our damage is still. Which means we just care a lot less. One of the other really nice things is Popping Corn just gets tons of procs, which means tons of healing. Awesome. I love entering the tear so much, and they really won't know what hit them. Actually, they will if I keep hitting them with a 0.5 times shot. Probably the kind of stuff they're expecting. But don't worry, I fully expect that my Infernorb next shot is going to be just ever so slightly more damaging. What do you think? 4k? Pretty solid? Pretty solid. Alright, I'm very blind to Infernorb, so I have to keep double checking every time. I do want an extra souls actually. That is a lucky penny. My refresh do not crit, but they could. I don't really care if they do though. It is definitely just lucky penny. 2 additional refreshes on the board is acceptable. Also, you know, like, look at my crit damage rate. That's the real reason, but 2 additional refreshes on the board is actually pretty cool. Awesome! Don't need to buy the removal anymore. Actually really nice, because I really wanted to go to the store and mostly just focus on picking up Infernorbs if they're in the store. Which there aren't, but we did get short fuse, which I already have because of Infernorbs. So we'd say we are in a pretty good spot, huh? Pretty good spot. I don't know if I actually want to go to the second store or not yet. Really not sure. I don't think I've skipped any Infernorbs this run, but I'm not fully sure. As I said, I'm very blind to Infernorbs. It's just not an orb I use often, and I do like the attributes of the Infernorb. It is a very cool orb. It's just that it's, for most intents and purposes, basically just a worse rubble, which is fine. Like, rubble's pretty good, pretty solid. It's just, since they're both at the same rarity, it really is just a worse rubble pretty much all the time. But there are different times where, you know, like, you have your intentional oboe, you have your darkness gloves maybe, because technically that is good synergy, and you'll be getting good value from your Infernorb. Whereas maybe, actually, Infernorb's probably also pretty bad with the Viridian Trinket, isn't it? Oh man. Fleece is the pick, I guess. I really wanted to take Peg Bag, but Fleece is definitely just the pick. It was solid there. I kind of want to go to the question mark purely because duplicate your entire deck, actually. That is a really good reason. I wasn't sure if I had a reason to want to go to the question mark, but I definitely did. Duplicate your entire deck is a very good reason. I think I will go to the store. Unless I find specifically an Infernorb in this fight and an Infernorb in the next fight. If I get only one Infernorb over the course of the next 2 fights, I think I probably will still go to the store. Does not seem likely, does it? Why exactly is that? No, Enhanced is kind of cool, and there's another reason. Strange. But, like, getting 1 extra crit and 1 extra refresh is both nice. I guess going to the Elite is also pretty awesome. I don't know, I'm really undecided so far. Counterfeit crits is pretty cool, but part of the problem with counterfeit crits here is it says whenever crits are hit, convert 2 pegs to crits. Temporary crits, that is. And the problem with that is I'm mass procking. Refreshing Punch is activating, not hitting. It's actually pretty bad here. Even though you would think, you know, 3 crits on the board is pretty good here. And considering the fact that we're lacking PS, I wanted to try and delay out this fight a little bit. Make it so that I'm actually not in that good of a spot to instantly close out the fight. If I take Org here, I'm in an insane spot. The question is, do I actually want to do that or not? I'm not fully certain. I have so much damage at this stage that I will just one-shot him, and I kind of don't want to do that. I have Crit Melissa's Fleece Org if I take it, which will just basically one-shot the boss. So I think I'll just take Pocket Watch. Pocket Watch is a very good boost to damage. It's definitely very nice. Just very unnecessary, especially when compared to Olga. I guess I'm going to the store. Navi. Oh, there's a chest as well. I guess that was a big part of the reason why I was trying to force the store, wasn't it? It was just better generally. Oh, but yeah, Olga definitely would have been the correct pick. It's just, I do want myself to struggle a little bit for this elite fight, so I will be... Oh, right, yep. Honestly, I didn't want to target the bat, but I already wasn't targeting the bat. But otherwise, I think it would just be a bit too easy. I'm fine to struggle. I'm perfectly fine to struggle a bit. After all, I think I've gotten a tad lucky this run. After all, the point of Peglin Tuition is to get lucky, and I am indeed playing Peglin Tuition. I feel like no other classes just fit the Infernorb theme better, so I just played on Peglin. I do love Peglin as well. I think it is still just my favourite class. I do love Belan too a lot though, but probably just Peglin. Peglin was just fun. That was... I thought I targeted the worm, but apparently the worm was definitely the correct target there. Let's get you out of there. And let's get you out of there, awesome. Just as long as I hit the bomb, I don't have to worry about that singular bat. It is nice having sand arrows, but admittedly, smoke mod would have been significantly more impactful. Just because if I'm hitting someone, I'm usually killing them. Usually is the wrong word to use. I'm killing them. Full stop. Triple orbs? Damn. We will take minus 16 HP. I do not want to miss navigate. No need to lose max HP. Actually, there was a need to lose max HP. I could take Overwhelmer, but again, with Olga, it just makes the fight so much easier, which I don't really want to do. No Infernorbs. Oh, unlucky. Unlucky. Oh, nevertheless, stuff is all good. So I'm really not that good into this fight. There is a chance that I just need to go through... That's a lot of enemies. Go through all of the enemies. I think it's significantly more likely that I will need to just get a whole bunch of bombs in a single shot. I'm not sure how possible that is. I definitely could have won this run if I chose. I might have thrown this run purely choosing to throw it. But I suppose we'll have to see. Because I really don't have AoE powers. And obviously I did get offered them this fight. That would have been really nice. And I also have pig downgrading, which is inevitability, not in the form that I'm looking for. Not benefiting me. I actually really don't know how this is going to turn out. Because I can keep getting 200 damage a turn, you know, that's nice. There's probably enough damage to kill him as well, isn't it? With the rig bombs combined as well. I mean, things seem to be working out. I'm constantly healing. He's not really scaling that much. I'm constantly getting the kills. I am doing a lot of downgrading, but I still have 50 damage per crit. Just so much to work with. And we're getting the refresh every turn, like, it really doesn't look too bad, does it? That being said, I did not take a round guard that I was offered at the start of this run. I took a bomb baton over it, which is definitely better for early, but round guard is a powerhouse late game. One of the best relics in the game. Actually, I just got hit by that sapper, which makes me look a lot less healthy, doesn't it? Definitely not the most ideal. The question is, how many brick bombs can I hit on this shot? The answer I think is not enough. Pretty cool though. Yeah, not enough. Actually pretty interesting. So of course I could have easily won this run if I'd chosen... That would have been the killing blow. I easily could have won this run if I'd... Oh, what did I choose not to do? Oh, 6 max HP would have won the run for me. Alright. I could have easily chosen to win this run. If I had taken over Ammo Olga, this fight would have been over in an instant. I kind of wanted to drag it out a little bit more. I probably should have respected that flying minion. He did just kill me there. But honestly, I'm not too miffed about losing that run. It was a bit too lucky for my tastes, and I was expecting to struggle a lot more. So I will just show you what custom run I set up. There we go, there are the Infernorbs. They're all maxed because I want to be spending the gold early on to heal instead of upgrading the Infernorbs because I thought that would be necessary. As it stands, we got a very good... Where's Hero's backpack? There we go. As it stands, we got a really good healing relic, so we didn't need to worry about that anywhere near as much. Brief Pillabuster. So... actually, Frog Amulet, sure. I plan on adding as many Infernorbs as I can get to my deck, so surely Frog Amulet is just very good. That's the dream, right? That's the dream. 2 bombs first shot would be ideal, my targeting was fine. Alright. Man, that was just such a crazy endgame there, though. I could have made it so much crazy if I'd wanted, but I didn't really feel like getting the win there, I think. I wanted to eke it out, get an interesting win, and unfortunately I did get an interesting loss. Definitely not managed to win. I'm fine with that. 3 elites, 1 store, 1 chest. Pretty premium area 1, honestly. I'm getting Frog Amulet value. I did this last game, I won't do it this game. I think it is worth it, but I'd rather only focus on the health loss from one source, thank you very much. Alright, so if we do get a... Really wish I could get this kill here, which means aiming straight down to pop a bomb is ideal. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. I really do want to be sitting at... What is it, 15 gold for an Infernorb in the store? Yeah, I have to pick that up. I really did want to be at 65 gold for the store. Doesn't really seem like that's going to be all that possible, unless I can grab a fight in the question mark. That'd be nice. Actually, 34. It's not too much of a stretch. Complex should be decent. I think I can build towards crits on Peglin instead of normal damage. A lot better, especially for Infernorb. Again, same rules apply. I'm just going to try and shoot Infernorb for every single shot of the fight. Great damage. Slightly off. It is mildly unfortunate, but potentially better. Hold on. We get that crit. Hold on. Remember the last time I actually killed the tree trunk, but oh no, I didn't. It was very close though, wasn't it? Suppose I will do that because I wanted to hit the refresh, but there was also a chance to hit the bombs. And hit the bombs it did. That was... wow. It's been a while since I've killed a tree trunk. In that fight specifically, and I've got my 65 gold, and I got a lucky penny crit. And what? Of course, Infernal build sounds kind of hilarious, but I guess I should just be responsible, take the lucky penny. It's just very good. Very, very good indeed. Oh wow. I'm kind of shocked. I was expecting to see at least one Infernal. I played for it, didn't get it, sure. Round Guard, Enhanced Gunpowder, and Collusion. All 3 of these seem very decent for this run. I think Collusion probably is not necessary though. Which leaves a Round Guard or Enhanced. Which, yeah, they're both very good passives. Very good passives indeed. I basically have Enhanced plus Short Fuse. Unfortunately, the way how... awesome. This is a pretty good fight for us, isn't it? Unfortunately, the way how I have Short Fuse is through orbs. Which means I can't access it for chests. Okay. I mean, look, I know that we're playing Peglin Tuition, so we have increased luck, you know, it's easier to find healing relics. But this is a bit much, isn't it? I do want the extra gold, but also 5 total for the extra options. I kind of love it a lot. There's so many boss passes that are good for this run. Like, I basically guarantee that I'm getting good boss passes if I do that. Also getting a removal already. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Very fine to pay 8 HP for it. Flaunty Gauntlets for fresh shield. Definitely just going to take a Flaunty for now. Oh, wow. I said I didn't take the reduce then. Echo 10 Shrewd Scales. I did end up reloading once last game. Once. In the boss fight, that is. I reloaded more times throughout the run, but always check behind the waterfall. Knuckles. So here's the question. Do we think me picking up that Knuckles was a misplay? I think it was, actually. I already have 2 crits on the board, so it probably just was, straight up. Now, of course, the reason why it's a misplay is because of Crits Melissa's Fleece. You want as small of a normal damage as possible when you're trying to use Crits Melissa's Fleece. And we already have 2 crits on the board, so the odds that we try and use Crits Melissa's Fleece are actually pretty decent. I was looking for a kill there again. I missed it, but maybe, just maybe, I can get that one, then I can get the other one on the next Infernorb shot. So only take 1 here, which is fine. And I think that it's more likely that I'm just simply going to hit a crit every single shot, and as such, playing for the chance that I get a Crits Melissa's Fleece is just better than trying to have good normal damage. But I think both sides have merit for sure. It is an interesting question. Alright, I don't take damage when I add orbs to my deck. Ring of Pain is a very fun Infernal or passive, so I'm going to take it. Ice Edge is good. Mask of Story is... Do I have debuffs this run? No. Safety Net's also very good actually, but definitely we'll just do the Ring of Pain. It's basically just a better safety net, isn't it? Not really. They're different, but I do prefer it here. I don't have intentional OS, I do have to be a bit more careful, don't I? Nova was a very nice find last run. 40 times 7 is a lot, but I've still got to find a lot of damage myself. Like, yeah, he's down 300 health thanks to the powers of Ring of Indignation. It looks like 300 health is more than enough, doesn't it? Awesome stuff. Ping ping, you're dead? No, but you're dead when I shoot this. Not quite, 2 health, like I got it. Awesome. Keep boosting my max HP, why not? Okay, so we've hit some stuff here. Constricting Chains. The biggest fan of losing access to navigation. It means that I cannot collect the Enhanced Gunpowder passive without Short Fuse. I believe Kinetic Meteorite I can also collect it with if I get Kinetic Meteorite as my second boss passive. Consuming, as I said last round, is pretty decent. Sorry, no. It was decent last round because I had an extra refresh. I do not have an extra refresh. Big no-no for Consuming Chalice. Jessica Shell, small Infernorbs, not really as interested. I think it is just Constricting Chains here. But I'll probably just get good value from it. Yeah. Yeah, like having the damage is unfortunate, but realistically, Hero's Backpack is just grinding me so much damage that I'm just fine with it. I fully expect that to be the case, honestly. 48. Nice, really need the refresh. Because I do really have refreshing problems this run. Not too much of a shock. Now that I've got Constricting Chains, it is definitely very noticeable, isn't it? Really need good refreshing with Constricting Chains. I'm definitely just able to blast through enemies. And I'm getting all of the coins on the map as well, which is a pretty big deal because I did really want that for this run. Wow, it looks like left is not even an option, eh? Okay, sure. Acceptable. Got to dodge after all. Like, there is no option. Simply just move left. I would love to navigate properly here. I really want... Awesome. I really want to navigate properly here. Awesome. Now, if I get an Infernorb, I would be forced to pick it up. That's a short fuse. Search button is cool. Orbit Story is actually pretty cool as well. Just in my path. Might be better than short fuse here, but I just care more about getting that passive. Now that I've got Constricting Chains, short fuse is the only way I can access it. Just except for Kinetic Meteorite. I think there is one specific shot you can do with Kinetic Meteorite, Constricting Chains, and Enhanced Gunpowder to get the passive. I think that might be the only way if you're not using Enhanced Gunpowder though. Alright, pretty good elite fight there, pretty solid. I have another store incoming, don't I? Yeah. Save my money, I suppose. I can buy Betsy's Hitch stacked Orbicus. I could just play into the having normal damage apparently, but Just no point because I've got such... I've got 3 crits on the board. My critting capabilities is just too good. I cannot just simply pretend that I'm simply going to not hit a crit because that's not what happened. I should have... Oh, I didn't take Bombula. I was gonna say I should have decent AoE powers, but they're not actually as decent. 16 dodge, not bad, eh? Not bad. Let me tell you though, having that extra refresh on the board is a huge weight off my shoulders. Matters so much. He's dead now. Awesome. Okay. Oh, I got a dodge. Oh, there we go. Sorry, not upgrading yet. I am just trying to go through. After all, I've got a store waiting for me, and it's gonna have 2 Infernorbs waiting for me. Navi, by all means. I'll get the next chest. This does not bode well for navigation, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Awesome. House of Slime might mess things up actually, but I need it for the run. Okay, good, it does not mess things up. Awesome. I even got the oboe. Oboe might not be the best with the Ring of Pain that I have, but I want it. Yeah, the other one's pretty cool. I do love it a lot. It's very cool. But oboe was the perfect passive last run, honestly. It's very cool. Yeah, pretty solid damage for the first shot. I love how we halved our damage, but our damage is just still absolutely out of this world. Imagine we'd also taken weighted chip as well. I didn't want to do 2 weighted chips runs in a row though, so I chose not to. I knew it would have been the correct pick though. To be clear. It would have been very good, and especially with the constricting chains. That's a refreshing punch. I'm just going to go for it again, honestly. Doesn't mean I'm not doing Juput again, which I'm fine with. Recon is also very good. Actually, probably better here. Don't have Bombaton or Bombula though. Vitamin C is also... They're all just really good. You know what? Maybe I don't simply just choose the Refreshing Punch because I love Refreshing Punch so much here. Maybe I actually think about it for a little bit longer. Like, honestly, I think all of these work here. Probably is just Recon. Yeah, no, it's definitely just Recon here. Once that's the most damage. We've already got Short Nance, so it's just very good. We can pick up like a Powder Collector. And I'm fine to not do another refresh run. I was going to say happy there, but honestly, I'd be perfectly happy to just do another refresh run. I absolutely love trying to assemble the refresh combo. Maybe not trying to assemble. I love assembling it, that's for sure. Navigation inflation, so if I can get plus 20 gold is perfectly acceptable. That's 2 Infernorbs worth if I ever find an Infernorb. Someday, eh? Someday. We will grab that, and grab a cookie. Grab a remove? I only have 1 remove I need left. I'll just grab a cookie, sure. Maybe I actually do hit a lethal escalator and then I'll be very sad, won't I? Because I turned down a refresh, refreshing punch. I really should have shot towards the pumpkin pie. Boom. I love how the minions just die there because it's literally 203 damage. Good luck surviving 203 damage. They get close actually, you know. The next Crucible levels are going to be adding more health to these guys so they start surviving that much. That would be pretty funny. We'll shoot that. It should hit a crit. Should get pumpkin pie value. Should get a lot of refreshes. Should be able to kill him, honestly. Yep. Barely, honestly. It hit that crit at the last second, which actually enabled it to get the kill, but get the kill it did. Alright, very cool stuff here. A lot of really, really good stuff. There is the Elixir Escalator. You know, that is a thing. Much like last run, don't really want the Sealed Conviction. Damage is definitely appreciated, though. Focus Blast, I think we know my thoughts on this passive. Is to keep giving, Elixir Escalator, go for gold. All 3 of these are very good. Very good indeed. I think I want the gifts to keep giving the most. Actually, maybe it is just... What is so many orbs? I think I just can't go wrong with go for gold, honestly. Yeah, I'm sacking a lot of damage, yes. I'm sacking so much damage. I can just pick up more Infernorbs to offset the damage loss. And it's just so many orbs and I've still got 9 crit damage, you know. Like, surely that's just a lot. Oh wow, this guy getting buffed is not ideal. Nice, Ring of Pain also pumping out damage, my max health is decent. I would love to find some more Infernorbs though. I feel like I've been a bit unlucky, and you know, like, I did pick up that Hive Turtle. I have been trying to play for Infernorbs, but I have not seen anywhere near as many as I saw last run for sure. I also haven't seen the Inferno event. You know, you keep getting them normal runs and you're just like, wow, I just lost 4 health for no reason. Just not appearing for this run. I did take Decoy Orb, awesome. I was gonna say, I really did want that Decoy Orb, so very nice to see. Blammo, and let me just get the finish up. Right, looking good. Definitely in a very good spot here. I just really wish I had more Infernorbs. But with such a huge deal. We have Coin Dragon as well. Interesting. Interesting. Kablamo. Be solid damage for the first shot. As always, this is just a very good map for getting damage on, so I could fully expect to get just as much damage on the second shot. This time it won't be doubled though, but not like we needed it doubled in the first place. Alright, let's go grab our free passive, shall we? Refresh move is... they're both whatever. I've already turned on Shuffle Pod actually. So there we go. Reflosser Stone, wow. Apparently I made a big mistake this run. Right, we may not be finding many Infernorbs to add to our deck, but that's because we're simply going to find a Duple Orbs in your deck instead. And that is going to feel amazing. Awesome. Okay, there we go. An extra Infernorb. You don't mind if I do? I'll be doing upgrades because I'm just about to get Duple Orbs. It's gonna be amazing. Not get to go to the question marks. Maybe I am believing a little bit too much in this Duple Orbs, but if I can get it, I'll be in a very, very nice spot. I will need to do some removing, and it is going to be unfortunate having two Horribles in my deck, especially since I believe I've already turned down a Ambidextrary this run. But I'm sure that the Infernorbs will be doing absolutely amazingly. Like, the chances of actually being forced to shoot a Horrible are still pretty low. I mean, it's basically the same, right? Wait, no... There are so many more Infernorbs, is it? And no. Definitely a big question mark on if I can actually remove the Pebble from my deck beforehand on whether or not I actually get to, Thank you. I'm forced to shoot a Horrible. Venturine is just fine. As mentioned before, I don't really want Circle. Should be very good at hitting crits, especially with how many multiples we've got. I do believe that that was not an elite. Yes, that was a question mark. Very cool. Our health is actually getting pretty low, and this is an elite which does snap a bit of health from you. So, not the most ideal. But, you know, heal's also just kind of dead. Pretty cool. Generally what I would consider pretty ideal, but also we don't really have the most health to work with, but also Bag of Orange Pigs is pretty awesome because our refreshing capabilities are on the poorer side, but Prime Slime, I feel like that feeds more into the Infernorb build that I keep trying to mention. Now what exactly does this Infernorb build look like? I'm not fully sure, but if the orbs are staying on the board, I think I'm happy with that. Bombaton is perfect. I actually really wanted Bombaton because we're fighting Coin Dragon, and unfortunately he does not have bombs on his map. Right, definitely doing that. And then Coin Dragon, so this will heal us. We'll do that. We'll do that. Pretty solid. The rest of the gold will be from Infernorbs and upgrades. Most of the upgrades I expect because apparently finding Infernorbs is just not possible. Still, that is a lot of damage, isn't it? Kablamo. He hit us, damn. I was hoping we'd be able to get a dodge because I really did not feel like taking that hit. I'm trying to regen health here. But it looks like it doesn't matter too much, does it? It's nice having Reflosser Stone for a little bit of extra gold as well. I had a feeling we were going to get those Rig Bombs last second. Just as oh yep, here you go, lose a whole bunch of health, but luckily it didn't happen. Pretty sick. Mask of Joy. I did have Scaling, and I did have Flaunting Gauntlets, which of course is incredible with Mask of Joy. I'm not really all that interested in it. What is the build that supports Infernorbs the most here? You know what, I think it is Mask of Joy. Why exactly is that? Who knows. Alright, an extra worm in this fight is actually pretty annoying. Like, there are a lot of painful fights in Area 3. This is one of them. Having an extra worm in this fight is usually going to be pretty bad. But also, when you can just hit every single peg on the map extremely easily, multiple times in a single shot. That generally means you can also hit all of your bombs as well. When you can hit all your bombs, like imagine we actually get a dupe here by the way. I will happily spend 4 health to dupe my entire deck. But when you can also hit... Oh my god, I actually... This is hilarious. What a perfect final question mark to end the run on, eh? So funny. What level are they? Oh my god, they're both level 1. God, that would have been so bad. You get in Area 3 and it's still 2 level 1 Infernorbs, that is a joke. Seriously. Very cool stuff though. I get more max HP there. I had poison apparently. I get another Infernorb. Right, awesome stuff. There's technically also a I think what's more impactful. Actually no, I'll just do that one I suppose. Awesome. There was technically a summoning circle there as well, which is technically also Infernal, but I wouldn't have accepted it. Alright, so we didn't take Bag of Orange Pegs. I knew the Bag of Orange Pegs would be completely ridiculous for this fight, but it wasn't the proper Infernal Orb, so I didn't take it. Looks like we are still absolutely just holding our own here. This is kind of what I wanted to see. I was admittedly hoping for a Peg Bag though. I was just like, oh, and a big part of the reason why the Bag of Orange Pegs isn't going to be as impactful is because I'll totally find extra refreshing capabilities. As it stands, my refreshing capabilities are still, frankly, very poor. Admittedly, this also isn't the best Coin Dragon map, is it? Like, it's decent. But for an Infernal as well, a map like this is just so much better. Like, this is pretty premium is what I'd say for an Infernal map. Like, look at that, 3k damage plus bombs. Very, very nice to see. Very, very awesome. And I should just be able to shoot another shot, which also gets not as much because the refreshes and crits were really hidden, but also just pretty good damage. Alright, this is awesome to see. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, it's nice to see the Infernal deck working. I think at the end there, purely because that he just killed himself. Thanks. I love Ring of Indignation. Sorry, Ring of Pain? Yep, they changed the name. They changed the name a while back, but I mean, it takes a while to get used to it, eh? I love Ring of Pain. Very satisfying passive. Very satisfying passive. Also just very good tempo in Area 1, and it's fine in the later areas. Area 2 in particular, actually, it's a huge deal, because there are fights that will happily steal like 30 health from you, and if they're stealing 30 health from you, you're stealing 210 health from them, which is one bomb usually, because they've got 250 health, and they've got a bow. Their name is Archimag Archman. Awesome. Instant Froggle Amulet. Not exactly what I was expecting, but it was pretty nice here, because look at how many ults we had in our deck. These are the 4 we started with, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 extra Infernorbs. That is pretty awesome for a total of 11. Pretty cool. A very nice Hero's Backpack, of course. That's a lot of boosted damage. It is unfortunately halved and also decreased further by our boss relics. You know, the price for multi-ball is steep, but it's a price worth paying ultimately. Absolutely just really, really good. Especially when you have bomb comp, recomp. That was a big part of the reason why I was so fine to just accept it. Because it's just like, I've still got insane melting potential. Like, my Infernorbs are still dealing tons of damage, it's just not the metric tons of damage that I was dealing beforehand. And my AoE capabilities are solid. You know, like, I was mostly using this enhanced gunpowder short fuse for the proccing capabilities that it has, because it's really good for this build. But it also represents good AoE, and especially with the Ring of Indignation. Your pain, even. I was literally hovering on it when I said that as well. The Ring of Pain. Um, you know, that's just melting through all the enemies in Area 2 pretty much, which is a lot of the ones that I'm scared of. Yeah, but interesting that the first run lost. Admittedly, I very much did cause that to lose. You know, I chose not to pick up. I think there were 3 or 4 relics that I chose not to pick up because it didn't fit the theme of the run as well as it could have, and that did cause me to lose. I think any one of them would have allowed us to win. But apparently the Infernal run actually works, and it was way easier than I thought. Maybe I don't need the immediate level 3 Infernals. That might be a step too far, though. Like, both runs, I still feel like I just got insanely lucky hitting healing immediately, which is awesome, but, I mean, maybe it really is just this good. I still do prefer Rob, especially for like this kind of build. I think Rob is just the go-to orb. But maybe there are definitely scenarios where you could be using the Infernal. I guess I don't know. Um, mm. It is very cool though. It works very well here, and I absolutely won't deny that.